Hey again, it's Dantarion. I just wanted to take another second to make a more in-depth video. I got some Twitter requests and some Twitch messages about the videos I made earlier today, and I just wanted to make this video because I had a major breakthrough. One of the issues I've had developing the hitbox tools and Kimbot is that whenever I have code that's dumping data from the game as it runs, any kind of latency throws it off. So like I don't want to have debug output being printed that causes the bot to drop frames and therefore drop inputs and therefore, not really be accurate. So what I decided to do was I decided to take JavaScript and WebSockets and HTML5 canvas and hook up an overlay to display information about the bot in real time. And the neat thing about this is that since it's a web page that polls the bot asynchronously, the overlay has no effect on the bot's performance. So like the overlay will drop updates before the bot drops inputs, which is really important to me. So without any more, here it is. So what we basically got here is we've got a bunch of information about both characters on screen, and I'll just go from top to bottom and kind of explain what's going on here. Got the base address, which is basically the address in memory where most of this information is being taken from. I basically found a table of pointers that has information about what's going on with each character on screen, and that's where the rest of the information is read from. X and Y coordinates pretty self-explanatory. We've got, you jump, you go up, you go left, it's negative, you go right, it's positive. The stage is 7.5 units long. I don't know if there's really a ceiling. I guess Vega's the only character really gets up that high. Got X and Y velocity, which is pretty self-explanatory. Can be useful for having the bot predict jumps. We've got X and Y translation, which may seem weird, why do you have position and translation? But there are some animations move your character around, and this kind of isolates that value. So you can see when you do standing fierce, Geef actually pulls back slightly and then pushes forward when he punches. And that movement is kind of reflected in the like X and Y. But for certain moves, it's good to know how far they pull back. So you can kind of use them as a counter poke, especially Geefs that pulls back. It's pretty good. Now you see we've got two flags for facing. We have the facing direction and then the facing direction as far as your inputs go. So one thing you notice is like while I'm jumping over, you can tell when I switch sides because the facing inputs flag changes when I cross over Ryu. But the facing flag doesn't change until I finish landing. So it's kind of important for inputting things during cross-ups. Now we've got this next flag, which I think is actually really cool. And it's the amount of frames until you can interrupt a move. So hold on a second, let me show you what I've got going on here. I'm going to slow the game down quite a bit. Take it down to like 1/4 speed so we can see what's going on here. So when you do a move, hold on a second, it will show you how many frames are left until you can do anything else. So if you look, like I'll do a sweep, and in the moment that gets to 0, I'm going to jump even though I'm already holding up. And then the flag next to it is just a 1 or 0, depending on if you can interrupt your next move or not. The neat thing about this is that if you press a button before it hits 0, when it's around like 3 or 4, then you can take advantage of the link buffer. So that's an easy way for the bot to kind of do links without having to code in a time delay. Got some flags I don't really know or understand yet, but they're kind of useful information. It's like 0 when the bot's not moving. It goes to -1 whenever you're locked into an animation. And then there's unique states for jumping up, jumping back, and jumping forward. So it's kind of a useful number to have. So up next we have all the script numbers. So these numbers, the script numbers, actually equate to scripts that you could see on my Hitbox website. I don't have the script names in yet. That's kind of coming next, but you could actually, see which state the character's in. Like 0 is stand, 17 is walk forward, back, 16 is walk forward, etc. And up next we have the current tick. Now, if I left this in neutral, it kind of looks like a frame counter, but it's not actually a frame counter because I guess Capcom's using kind of like fixed point math. So it's an integer number in memory, but it actually represents fractional frames sometimes. For example, in Zangief's walk, they are using like a speed multiplication to speed it up. So as a result, he actually goes in between frames of that script. It doesn't happen on most moves, but it happens sometimes on walks and dashes and stuff. Well, not Zangief's dashes, but his walks at least. And then we have the total amount of ticks that a script has. You can see that once it hits that total amount, it will loop over. And actually, if you look at the bottom, it keeps track of how many times a script is looped as well. Oh man, you can see the overlay starting to die. Ooh, I might have to restart the overlay. Hold on a second. Yeah, I need to. Still a little buggy, but this is day one, so I'm not too worried about whether it's perfect or not. Just give me a second to make sure this is going correct. Alright, let me speed the game back up. So we have the total amount of ticks in that script, and one kind of neat thing that you can kind of see is when a move is active, this actually updates in real time. So you see the first active frame, the recovery frame, the as soon as interruptible frame, and like the speed multiplier in the script. Like if you look during during hit stop, it goes to 0. So that'll be useful information that can be fed into the bot. Now this number below, the one that's dark on that says frame advantage, is actually something that I coded myself. And what it essentially does is it tells you how many frames you are at disadvantage from your opponent. So one of the neat things about this, ooh, it's actually backwards right now. It's a negative where it should be positive and positive where it should be negative. But let me get the bot on set to block, and then I can show you how this works. As it is pretty neat. So basically, anytime a move starts up, you can basically see how many frames you basically have to punish it, how many frames you have to start up something to punish that move. But if the move hits, then you get the frame advantage after the move would be over. So you can kind of see, and once again, I have the polarity backwards, so like this isn't actually +3, it's a -3. But it's kind of useful because you can see like, oh, this move is -10, this move is -2, this move is +1, it's +3. But yeah, you can kind of get an idea of exactly how plus or minus you are at any point in time. But also, since it does things for whiffs, one thing I noticed is like when I was playing, I had Ryu loaded up in this, and I did fireballs at different distances. It would actually accurately tell me how many frames I was at advantage depending on the distance. So fireball at point blank range, I think is like -5, but if you move a couple units away, all of a sudden you're positive. So this will be a useful tool for not only the bot but possibly players if I can get this out to you guys when the full game comes out. Anyways, just wanted to make a little quick video. You'll definitely see some I guess probably in a week or two I'll get to a point where I can actually have match videos for these bots I'm making, just locally or me against a bot. But for now I'm just kind of getting as much information about the game state as I can into my little setup so that the bots can actually react to things accordingly. Right now I've got almost everything I need to kind of create a full bot that that operates against a human opponent or even the game's AI. I haven't figured out a way to read the AI's inputs because I think the AI doesn't actually do inputs, it just chooses which moves to do. So the bot will actually be better against a human opponent than AI. But yeah, that's it for now. So thanks for watching, and please click follow or subscribe. Follow my Twitter, follow my Twitch, follow my YouTube. All right.